This is a great video. This is producer productivity hacks. These are things I've learnt myself, trial and error, fucking up, being lazy, blah, 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 over the past 4 to 5 years. The same hacks that's gotten me from this to a platinum producer, producing on Billboard #1 albums, etc. So first of all, first productivity hack is you should be watching this video on 2x speed, because then you're just gonna get the video done quicker, and then you can start implementing it quicker. That's the first tip that I can give. Next one, don't work where you sleep. I did this for so many years and I didn't even realize how bad it was until I changed my workstation and there was no option for me to sleep in the same room that I work. No matter how strong your willpower is, sometimes it's so easy just to turn around and lie down on your bed and scroll on your phone or some shit. It's so easy. And the thing is, when you're lying down, you're sending signals to your brain that it's like time to go to sleep and that you're tired, blah, blah, blah. It's so bad to work where you sleep. If you can work in another room, maybe if you have to go somewhere else, like go to a cafe or something, just do that. It's so worth it, because you want to be in a place where your brain recognizes, okay, now it's time to do work. When I'm sitting at my desk, I'm like, okay, now it's time to do work. When I'm in my bed, it's like, now it's time to go to sleep. You can't combine the two and expect to get a lot done. So that is a very important tip. Something that I used to do a lot until I moved house, and now it's all good. All right, next one. Power off your phone and just put it the fuck away. Put it out of sight. What I like to do is I have my laptop in front of me, and then I have my powered off phone behind the laptop so I can't see it. This is what I recommend. The reality is your phones are the most distracting thing of all time. I have times I thought, okay, I have to do this, and then I go into my phone, and then I end up on like fucking Tinder or some shit. It happens too much, right? You end up forgetting to do what you were supposed to do. It's better just to power it off, do things on your laptop instead. Log into Instagram on your laptop instead. When you're on your laptop, it's much harder to get continuously distracted. There's less like notifications and stuff. Sure, you can get distracted, but it's less distracting than your phone. So power your phone off, because the thing is, if you can see your phone, subconsciously, you're just gonna wanna reach it. Also, if it's powered off, you might reach behind your laptop and then turn it on because you want a little dopamine hit or whatever. And then it's like, oh shit, now I have to wait 1 minute to power it on. And then you realize that the reason why you wanted to turn it on was a bullshit reason anyway, and you would have just wasted 10 minutes, and then you just put it back and you get back to work. The amount of times this has happened is so many. It's such a valuable piece of advice that you can easily implement literally right now. Next one, delete TikTok. I don't care what you think. Oh, I don't want to lose my drafts. Oh, but my friends are on TikTok. Just fucking delete it, bro. I say that because that's what I used to say. I was like, I don't want to delete TikTok because of this. Bro, just fucking delete it. I can assure you, you're not going to regret it. Unless you're posting videos every single day to grow your producer brand, which for 99% of you, you aren't, just delete it. You don't need it. You don't need it for market research. You don't need to stay up to date with the memes. It's bullshit. You don't need it. It just fucks up your brain. Every single minute you spend scrolling on TikTok or Reels, you're just becoming more stupid. I'll just call it that, all right? You're not making yourself any smarter. So I highly recommend deleting TikTok, because me personally, it took up a lot of my day, it took up a lot of my energy. Ever since I deleted it, to be honest, then I just started watching Reels, but it was less. And I'm still trying to cut it out as much as possible. But yeah, you have to understand that social media benefits the producers, not the consumers. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram and you're just constantly consuming, watching stories, watching Reels, watching other people's posts, blah, 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 you're pretty much the method. But if you're producing, if you're the one people are watching, if you're the one who's making the YouTube videos, you're the one making the Reels, then you are going to get benefited. You're going to get benefited by the algorithm, because apps like Instagram and YouTube, they want you to be doing that because they want people to stay on their app. It's important to always have this in your mind. Am I consuming or am I producing right now? Try and minimize the consuming as much as possible. Try and maximize the producing, and you're going to see a lot of results in your producing career. Next productivity hack, avoid carbs. This is very, very practical. Carbs take energy to digest. It can obliterate your energy levels. Let's say I've just eaten a whole lot of rice for lunch. Now that I'm sitting at my desk and I'm trying to expend energy on work, my body is expending energy on digesting the carbs. It's like my mind's trying to do one thing, but my body's trying to do the other thing, and I get tired much easier. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, I want to bulk, I want to put on weight. Sure, I'm not saying not to eat carbs, but I reckon if you're eating carbs, you need to balance it out with a coffee or something. Because if you don't, you're just going to end up having a nap at 2 p.m., which is what I did so many times. Now, personally, I just prefer to avoid carbs until it's like dinner or until my tasks are done, just because I feel like I can be operating at a higher level of energy. Next productivity hack, just spam caffeine, okay? It's impossible not to do work when you're heavily caffeinated. Right now, I'm heavily caffeinated. You can maybe tell by the way that I'm speaking. There are going to be days when you wake up, when you can't be bothered, blah, blah, blah. Actually, the only thing that's going to save you is just having a coffee or having an energy drink. Just do it. It's worth it. Spend $5 on whatever you're going to make way more than $5 back with the amount of work that you did in that day. Maybe you don't see the results for it that day. Maybe you get a placement, it's in a year, but it's worth it. It's a good trade-off. It's a great return on investment. Maybe you're going to die 5 years earlier, but it's worth it because at the end of the day, we want to be successful. We want to be rich early. It doesn't matter if we're rich at like 75. It doesn't matter if we die at 75 or 70. You know, it doesn't really matter. So I highly recommend drinking caffeine because you're going to just be operating at a different level of efficiency. You're going to be getting things done quicker. You're going to get to the next task quicker. You're just going to get more done in a day, more done in a week, more done in a month. And you're going to be lapping every single other person who's working slower. Next one tab at a time. When you are working on your computer and you've got like 20 different tabs open, every time you look at a different tab, every time you go to a different tab, it takes you a certain amount of time to reset and to enter a mode of focus. By having only one tab, or maybe you need to have like 2 or 3 open, just minimize that, okay? This is another very practical tip, but it allows you to focus on the task at hand much better, opposed to you've got all these other things trying to take your distraction. Imagine you're trying to send an email, but then all your other tabs are these YouTube videos you really want to watch. Like, it's going to be impossible to get the email done because it's just like so distracting. So just get rid of the tabs and you can watch it later. And that brings me on to my next point, which is one task at a time. Try your best not to be doing a million things at once. Just focus on one task, then complete that task, then go to the next task, okay? Make this loop, then send the loop out. Then make a YouTube video. Then make a reel out of the loop. Then message this person, then respond to this person. Try not to do a million different things at once. Don't be making a loop and then halfway through you try and make a YouTube video and then halfway through you try and send an email. It's just too much, it's too distracting, it's too hard to focus and to get the proper quality on each individual task if you're doing a million things at once. Fitting into the point about powering your phone off, use your laptop. Use your laptop a lot because you're less likely to get distracted. Sure, you can get distracted on your laptop. YouTube is a big distraction for me personally. But yeah, you're less likely to be getting distracted and do dumb shit when you're on your laptop. All right, next one, which is something I literally did today, is if you hit a brick wall, if you've woken up and you feel like shit and you can't be bothered, if you're just not up for it, do the least demanding task. Attack the lowest hanging fruit. Do the easiest possible thing you can just to get the ball rolling. Just do something, okay? This morning I felt shit and I wasn't asked. And what I did was I just sent an email of my loop to my loop list. Super easy. Literally took like 1 minute to do. But that created a bit of momentum for me. It meant I've done something for the day. I know that that's a big needle mover. That's something that could potentially get placed, that could make me money. And it allows me to build momentum throughout the day so that I can eventually build up and do the more demanding tasks, such as recording this YouTube video, such as editing it, which is what I'm gonna have to do after, etc., etc. Even something like watching a podcast or something, that's not demanding at all. If you're internalizing the points from the podcast, if you're understanding what they're saying and actually applying them, that's something that you can do. But you have to be careful because a lot of people watch podcasts and they do nothing with the information and it's just mental masturbation and it's actually a waste of time. So make sure you're actively listening and you're internalizing what's going on. And that's something good to do. That is what I would consider a low-hanging fruit so that you can build up momentum throughout the day. All right, now the last point in terms of productivity is getting yourself a whiteboard, get yourself a whiteboard marker and write down your daily tasks for the day. Cross them off as you go and do not sleep until your tasks are finished. You might be thinking, oh, well, I write my tasks on my phone. That's good enough. No, it's not good enough because I used to do that and I'll tell you any day of the week that a whiteboard is better. I used to write tasks on my phone and then I literally just forget. And then it would be at night and I'm about to go to sleep and I've checked the task list and I realized I haven't even done 30% of it. I've just been floating like a feather in the wind all day. And then I realized, wait, I actually did fucking nothing the whole day. But when you've got a whiteboard, it's like you're looking at it all day, you finish a task, you don't have to use brain energy to think of the next task, it's already there. And it allows you just to be a machine. You just go bang, 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 task done, task done, task done. And when you finish a task, you crossed it off. And it's a great feeling when you cross it off. It gives you a hit of dopamine, you're getting a win on the board, and it goes to that previous point, which is just you're building up momentum. And then once you cross all of your tasks off, it's a great feeling. You want to make sure the task list is realistic as well. Don't give yourself like 83 things to do, knowing that you can only do 16, because then you're just going to be like, fuck's sakes, I failed today. Make it realistic. If you haven't done this before, start with quite a low amount of stuff, figure out how much you can do, and then you can add stuff later. Don't overwhelm yourself with some crazy amount. You want to build it up to the point where you're pushing yourself, but it's not impossible to achieve the task. And yeah, once you finish the tasks, then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the day, and you're going to feel very good about yourself because you're going to be like, I've done what I sought out to do for the day. I feel good about myself. I know this is going to progress me. It's going to move me forward, and you're going to feel very good going to sleep compared to if you wrote it on your phone and then you realize, oh, fucking hell, I've done nothing all day. But yeah, that is the video. A lot of practical tips. Honestly, tips that I wish people told me years ago, because this would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of trial and error. If you enjoyed this video, I'm talking about a lot of topics like this in my Instagram broadcast channel, which will be in the link in description. So make sure you join that as well. Subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.